Hello, Madison, fifth grade families. This is Mrs. O'Brien, and I would like to welcome you back to school. This is our virtual open house, so I'm just going to be sharing some information with you for the beginning of the class year. All right, so first of all, I had a little fun creating a Bitmoji classroom. Here I am waiting for you. I have some books on the shelf that we're going to be reading together this year. I'm really excited about starting them. Our first one is going to be Esperanza Rising. It's a book that my classes always love. I have some symbols here in my classroom that are kind of hidden here that represent a little bit about me. As you can see, I graduated from Ohio University. I've got some symbols on my whiteboard that symbolize some of the things that I do outside of school. I work at the YMCA. You'll see up in the top corner, there's a symbol for yoga because it's one of the classes that I teach at the Y is yoga. You'll also see on my desk, my favorite snack there are M&Ms. Just a couple of little clues about me. When we start back, I am going to be having everyone create their own Bitmoji locker so I can get to know a little bit more about you. Um, the first thing that I wanted to say to all of the families is just a reminder that we are all in this together. We appreciate all the support we get from our families. The one thing that I really want to emphasize is that we are not expecting you to teach your children. We are here to do that. All right, our classes are going to be live this year. It's going to be a little bit different than things were in the spring. We're going to be following a typical school schedule. If your child gets frustrated or overwhelmed, we are here to help. Please do not feel like you need to teach this material. Let us know and we will help. Um, the Just a little bit of a forecast here for what we're going to be doing in English language arts this year. We're going to be reading a lot of interesting books together. We will be writing each day. We're going to start with the shorter written responses and work our way back to those fantastic essays that I know these students are capable of. Each day, we're going to have small group guided reading. That's going to be when they're like a class meeting with a small number of students that are all working on the same skill. And we do still expect students to be reading independently for at least 20 minutes per day at home. I'm going to be providing links to many websites that have books that kids can read online at home. All right, and then our daily schedule, like I said earlier, it's going to look a lot more like in-person learning this year. You're going to be following a schedule that's very close to the schedule that you will follow when you return to school. And I'm going to share with you. So you'll go to Google Classroom, and under Google Classroom, there's a tab for classwork. We're expecting all the students to be logged into their Chromebooks by 9 o'clock each day. We're going to start the day with some messages from the office, just like we would when you're at school. And then your first class of the day, if you were in my homeroom, you're going to be going to a live class with Mrs. Becerra for math. And Mrs. DeWitt is actually working with her to help. So you might be meeting with Mrs. DeWitt as well. And then after that, you'll have science, live science class with Mrs. Becerra. Then there'll be a break in the middle of the day for lunch. And then you'll come back at noon for a live reading and writing class with me, Mrs. O'Brien. After that, I'll be meeting with smaller groups of students for guided reading. Mrs. Montgomery, who got married over the summer, you might remember her from last year as Mrs. Lacoste. She's going to be working with her students during our guided reading time. And then you'll end the day with specials. And specials this year is going to be on a 2-week rotation. So my homeroom is going to be starting with art. You'll have art for the first 2 weeks of school. And then you'll have another special for the next 2 weeks. We're just doing that to kind of minimize the amount of time that students are intermingling with other students and also with the teacher. And then Mrs. LaSalle is going to be continuing to work with some students during lunch and recess, just like she did last year. Mrs. Copeland will be meeting with her ELL students at the end of the day. And our new guidance counselor this year is Miss Dressel, and she will also be presenting some lessons for the students. So that gives you just a sample of our schedule. A copy of that will also be going home with your students' supplies next week, and we'll be talking more about it, of course, when the school year starts. Um, so back to this. So classroom expectations. As I mentioned earlier, we are expecting students to log in each day by 9 and follow that schedule. Be present for all of the online learning sessions. We're asking for as much as possible if students could have a quiet space to participate in all of their classes. When they come to class, they should be muted, but we're also expecting that during the class, they'll unmute and share with us during that time. So, and then just a reminder to students, just like when you're at school, we expect all the electronic devices to be put away until after the school day. So please do not have out phones or video games or TV or any of that during your classroom time. All right. And then ultimately, my number one rule, whether it's online or you're in class, this is the number two things I guess I'm going to ask of you. Just work hard and be kind to each other. All right. So attendance will be taken each day. And in order for the students to be counted as present, they need to have participated in all of the scheduled lessons for the day. So we had a couple of students, last year who might check in the morning, do maybe an assignment here or there, and then log out. So this year, in order to be counted as present, you do need to complete all of your lessons. Um, and then that brings us to grading. Students are going to earn grades based upon their participation and the completion of their daily assignments. I believe we ended the year last year entering all the grades as pass fail. We are going back to letter grades, and the students are going to need to complete all of their classwork. You should know I do not take points off for late work, especially during this challenging time. So if your student needs additional support, extended time, or a chance to redo an assignment, I will accommodate that as much as possible. I do not want the students or their families stressing if you begin to feel overwhelmed by any of the material. I am, like I said earlier, definitely here to help. So if you get confused, let me know. We will work through it. The assignments are not going to, you're not going to lose any points for the assignments being late, or of course for needing additional help from me. All right. So a few notes here about communication. Uh, we do communicate a lot through Class Dojo. So if you are not on that, I would highly recommend that you do get linked to Google Classroom. I send out messages to my whole class that way. I also communicate with individual parents that way, and then you'll also be getting messages from the school. All of your child's teachers will be posting assignments, messages, and links to online learning sessions on Google Classroom each day. So it's important, definitely, as soon as you log into your Chromebook today, to head over each day to head over to Google Classroom. When we need to contact parents, we will be doing that through Dojo, emails, and phone calls. If you have a preference, please let me know and I will try to contact you that way. And then teachers also message students through GoGuardian, and that's the system that we use to monitor students when they are working online. If we happen to notice that a student is struggling with an assignment, we will sometimes just pop in and give them a little message asking if they need our help. And it's kind of a way for us to have a little chat with them while they are doing their work. Um, and just I kind of want to end. It is going to be a different year. Things are going to change throughout the year. We are starting with at least a few weeks of online learning. Hopefully, we'll be headed back to in-present learning soon. But regardless, we're all going to work together to make this a great year. As I mentioned, next week you will be coming to the school to pick up your supplies. Fifth graders may pick up their supplies Wednesday during the day, or Thursday anytime between 12 and 7. And we will have bags for you with your Chromebooks, chargers, a lot of the supplies that you will need to be successful from home, and also contact information for all of your teachers. All right. Enjoy your last few days of summer, and I look forward to getting to know everyone soon.